I'm Richard.
And I'm Cassie, and welcome to our tiny home tour.
Alright, so we're here in the kitchen. This is obviously one of the bigger areas of our house. It's roughly 12 feet of cabinets and kitchen appliances, and through our design process, this is something that we really wanted to emphasize. This is kind of where a lot of the character comes from in the house. Starting with our color choice. This is really teal from Sherwin-Williams. It's the same colored paint as the exterior of the house. Just really ties in nicely with the black and white and then the black walnut. All these counters, like I just mentioned, are black walnut. We had a long process of gluing them all together and finishing them. This is a 36-inch sink, and it's a farmhouse style. A lot of good open space. So the utilities in this house, the electricity, we're hooked up to a 50 amp circuit. So it's plenty of power to run everything that we have in the house. And this actually doesn't use any electricity. It runs off of mainly propane, and then the igniters run off a little D battery. So this is kind of a really good off-grid option, so that if we're not hooked up to power, we can still cook. This is a hood vent just for our exhaust to get all the moisture, again, which is a big thing in tiny homes, get the moisture out of the house. Nice plug layout so that we can plug any of our rice cookers or blenders and whatnot. And there's one light above the sink, so when it's nighttime you can do the dishes. Also got under cab lightings throughout the under cabinets. This is really great in the evenings or in the morning when you don't really want bright light in your face. And then in our kitchen here, we also did pull-out drawers behind all of our doors. And this is just a really good option to get in there and not have to move things around on a shelf. And again, all of our hardware in this kitchen is all soft close, so it's really easy on the cabinets and just going to prolong the life of the craft.
All of our plants up here are really important to us. We are aspiring farmers, and so we're kind of whiling our time away with house plants. It is fun having so many varieties available, and as you can see, we had to get creative with our storage space for all of them, so they're up pretty high. I just kind of pull up a chair, climb up on the counter, and then use my little watering can to take care of all of them. We added this big transom window up here because we wanted more light to come in. We feel like it would have been pretty dark without this window here, so our plants sure appreciate it, and so do we. We do also have a Wi-Fi extender tucked up here because we are out in the middle of a field basically, so we don't have a way to run an internet connection down here, so we are using that, and it works really great. It does have to have a direct line of sight, so that is why it gets the space of honor up here in the window. All of our walls are tongue and groove pine. We have them painted white. Please don't ask me which one because we looked at 10,000 of them. I don't remember which one we picked. We have R15 insulation inside all of our walls, and we have about 40 Rs in our ceiling with some spray foam. All of our trim is blue pine. Our ceiling is also blue pine in the living room. Each of our lofts have a accent wall made out of the same material as well. You'll see our dining room area right here. This is a big slab of black walnut that we milled down and we have mounted on some big steel brackets, so it's floating, so you never have to worry about kicking legs or anything. It felt really important to make sure there wasn't a lot of things in the way for our feet in this space, since it is a lot smaller than traditional homes, obviously. All of our lights in this area are controlled by remote controls. We have one for our outdoor light, we have one for the dining room light, and then we also have a plug outside, so if we want to put up any fun cafe lights, need to plug in a weed whacker or something, we can turn that on and off and have that out there. This is our beautiful set of stairs. We carry the walnut through here as well. And we do have two-way lights with our main can lights in the ceiling. We can turn them on and off from here, and also at the top of the stairs as well. And then we also have our one sparkly concession in the house, which is our beautiful ceiling fan up here that has little crystals and everything, and that is controlled from right here.
So these are custom stairs. We spent a lot of time designing these. In any tiny home, storage is, the biggest thing. You gotta optimize the place where you can put everything, like all your shoes that people have. So down here we have 4 things of storage for all of our shoes. And again, all of these drawers we custom made, and they're soft close, so real nice operation. We have our trash bin, really easy, right here, right in the kitchen, kind of centrally located. These are really fun little tea drawers. And like I said, behind every door we have, doors that pull out. It's just a really good space. This adds a lot of storage to our space. And again, our black walnut treads that go up to our sleeping loft, and that's where our main bedroom is up there. This is our refrigerator. It's a 7 cubic foot refrigerator, top freezer. So it's not a full size and it's not a mini, so it's just right there in between. It's perfect for us, and it makes the space.
Part of what made us decide to go tiny is feeling like we wanted less stuff, and we just didn't want to be encumbered by things. The fact that everything we own is mobile means that we can really make different life choices as things come up and really focus on what we're doing instead of what we have.
Yeah, which is important moving forward, because we're just trying to get ahead, and we want to eventually have property and build a house, and in this day and age it's sometimes hard financially to save up for things like that. So going tiny is efficient in a lot of ways, and one of those things is financially. It allows us to be able to save and not have to pay for too much space that we don't need. And that's kind of what motivated us to get to this point.
Welcome to our bedroom loft. We went really big with windows up here. We wanted a lot of natural light, and since it is such a small space, we wanted the feeling of more openness so we didn't get too enclosed. As you can see up here, we have a 4x4 opening skylight. It really adds a lot to this space, and it actually literally added height as well. It's nice to be able to see the stars, and we've been having a full moon lately, and it's been going right over top, and it's been absolutely beautiful. We have a queen size bed. I know, sounds like a luxury in a tiny house. We have our cute little built-in drawer storage here, so we each have a nightstand on our side of the bed. We also have independently operated lights, which is really nice, so if one of us gets up in the middle of the night, only one of them has to turn on. You don't have to do both of them and shine that in the other person's face. You'll see some sets of the custom curtains that I sewed throughout the upper parts of the house up here. We also have a hat problem, and somebody has a bolo tie problem, so we have some nice hanging areas for all of those items up here, as well as some built-in storage at the end of our bed, and got some plants, and we topped that with some more of that beautiful black walnut.
This is our wardrobe area. We have a dresser here. It has 8 drawers, 4 for me, 4 for her. There's clothing racks on each side. Same thing, all of her clothes are here, my clothes are here. Over here is our all-in-one washer dryer. It's really handy to not have a double stacked one, and for it to not take up too much space, so it's nice and concealed, and great way to do all of our laundry. Another thing we did in this space was add not 1 but 2 different pocket doors. This is really cool to kind of just divide the space up. A lot of times when we have the washer dryer going and it's too loud, we'll just go ahead and just close this door from the main part of the house, and so that kind of makes it a little bit quieter for here. Especially we'll have the fan running in the bathroom to kind of help with some of the moisture. And then same thing from this way, we're in this space over here. Obviously you need to use the bathroom or take a shower, you can close this door.
In our bathroom, we've carried through the really teal color on the vanity cabinet, and we've really brought a lot more of the copper highlights in. We went with this really cool Mexican copper sink that we found as a Craigslist find. We carried it into the mirror and some storage and decor items in here as well. But my favorite thing that we did was custom make our own shower curtain hanger up here from just some pieces that we were able to collect from Home Depot and make into something really cool. We went big on our shower. We've seen lots of tiny homes that was really small, and it was really important to us that we just have a good spacious area since both of us are going to be using it. And so we ended up with a 5-foot wide shower, and our bathroom is the width of the whole house. So it is that standard 8-foot wide. We went with a composting toilet. I know everybody's fascinated by composting toilets. So we didn't want to have to deal with a black water tank or dumping that, etc. So we opted to go this method, and we used sphagnum moss for our main filler in there, and then we usually have to dump it about once a week. The liquids jar, as folks like to refer to it, we usually have to empty about every other day. It's not as bad as you think it is, as long as you have everything balanced out nicely and the moisture is correct. So it's very different, but at no point have either of us really thought it's gross or anything. It does have a nice vent that is standard on the toilet that goes to the outdoors, so it vents things to keep things flowing a bit better. We did install a fan in here since moisture is a concern in tiny homes. We run that anytime we are running our all-in-one washer dryer. The dryer is ventless, so it does mean that it condenses the moisture and it brings more moisture into this space then. So we will turn this on to make sure that's kind of moving outside. You'll see that we did a lot more windows in here again. We wanted it to feel very open, very bright, and it is nice to kind of have these open after a shower or whatnot so that you can get, again, more of that moisture outside. We ended up doing a cadet heater in here as well because nobody likes freezing when they get out of the shower, and it's just kind of far from our mini split and our fireplace. So this is just an added luxury back here to make sure that you're able to exit the shower when you need to. We did go with a really cool Portuguese tile in our shower. We just got it from a big box retailer, but it was a very special tile to us and it matched the really teal spectacularly. I don't know how we got this lucky.
If we probably had to give any advice on anybody that's looking into getting into living in a small space, tiny home, a van, you know, anything of that sort, you know, you just have to really think about what you're trying to do and what you're comfortable with, you know, and do your research, you know, ask people around you, but at some point you just kind of, you know, in life you just have to go for it sometimes. And that's the gamble that we did, and we're, you know, really happy that we did it.
I think choosing the things that are important to you while you're planning to go tiny or making the jump to going tiny is going to make or break your success. If you know that you just can't live without a dishwasher, but you made your house too small, you're probably not going to have a great time in that. So you just kind of really think through, you know, your day-to-day life and, you know, the big picture of life on what you want, and go with what is going to fit with that and make you comfortable and happy. We wanted a really cozy feeling to our living space, so we have it under another loft over here that is primarily for storage. You'll see we carried the blue pine tongue and groove through on the ceiling on this section as well. We have a built-in bookcase with our large collection of books. All of that is built in, like I said, so if we end up moving the house, we do have to take everything off of it, but the shelves and everything will stay. You'll also see that we have a fireplace built in here that is propane operated and it is off grid. We have a large seating area so we can spend time doing some jamming, making music with our friends. We have a nice space to just sit and relax, read a book, and we do have space for our big dog. We have a Doberman. And then we also have 2 Chihuahuas who like hanging out in their little spots on the fireplace built-in area here. They have their little beds tucked in there and they spend a lot of time there. Our sofa is all custom made. We have cabinet boxes on the bottom that do have pull-out drawers here. We have all of our hiking and some of our craft supplies in there. Cushions are also custom made and upholstered. And we have a beautiful walnut armrest at the end there. This is my work from home space. We have 2 tiers of floating walnut counter area here. It's very ergonomic. It works great with my little yoga ball there. Up above here, we do have the indoor portion of our Mr. Cool mini split unit. It keeps our house warm during the winter and it's got some great air conditioning that we really enjoy during the summer. It's the perfect size for this whole space. I think our only complaint to date is that during the winter when it gets super, super cold, the outdoor unit condensates and it will actually freeze. So it'll have to shut off the inside unit and defrost the outside unit. So we will not have heat while that is happening, which makes us extra happy that we decided to go with our propane fireplace unit. We also have some awesome built-in speakers that we can hook up to with Bluetooth. We can hook up electronic instruments to that. We can do Bluetooth, like I mentioned, with our phones if we just want to kind of hang out and listen to something while we're sitting on the couch, doing some dishes, what have you. And we also like to get some surround sound going if we watch any movies on our laptops while we're sitting here too.
So we're out here at the back side of the unit. This is our bump out. I like to just kind of refer it to our utility closet or our water closet. This has a little latch here that we open, which reveals all the guts of our home. This is a Renai tankless water heater. It gives off about 6 gallons per minute. So we can use 2 fixtures at once, which is really nice. It runs through a 2-stage filter system. And this is going to help not only the quality of the water going into the house, but also just keeping sediment from going into the tankless water heater unit. So this is a 30-foot long by 8-foot wide 3-axle trailer. It was manufactured by Iron Eagle Trailers in northern Portland. They're actually really nice to help work with us to kind of create a different style here. We call it our little bay window area. On the inside of this is where the living room is. It's just a really unique thing that we're really glad that we ended up doing.
You'll see that we carried the really teal outside here and throughout the house. Again, that's from Sherwin-Williams. We chose a bat and board siding for a little bit of a farmy touch to the outside. We really enjoyed doing this custom pattern of cedar shake. We got some pre-shaped shingles here, but we did design the pattern and elevation and everything ourselves. That is, of course, finished with a weatherproof stain so that it doesn't get too weathered too fast.
So this is our outside condenser unit. This is our cat. Yeah, this is just kind of sits here. Then when we move, we disconnect it and then reconnect it whenever we get to our location.
Have funded our Going Tiny journey is through, for me, working in wealth management. It's really nice being able to do that from home now that we've got that space set up.
And I am a carpenter. Been doing it since I was a kid, which has helped in our process of building this home. But yeah, I'm a carpenter by trade, and then recently through this process, I was inspired to go tiny with my profession too, so now full-time building tiny homes.
I'm Cassie.
And I'm Richard. And thanks for coming along this journey and checking out our tiny home tour.
If you want to continue following along, you can find us on Instagram at Building Happiness.